reports of a second attack on a U.S. military base in Syria. And overnight, the U.S. military carried out precision airstrikes in retaliation for another attack yesterday. One American contractor died in that strike and 6 other people were hurt. 5 of them are American troops. According to the Pentagon, the U.S. strikes targeted groups with ties to Iran operating in the eastern part of Syria. Earlier today, CBS News correspondent Christina Ruffini spoke to National Security Council spokesperson John Kirby, and he said that these attacks from Iran-backed militant groups to strike at U.S. facilities in Syria is not atypical and warned of potential escalation.
We don't seek to escalate here. We certainly don't seek a war or a conflict with Iran. That's not the goal. We're there to go after ISIS, but we have to do what we have to do to protect our people and our facilities. And that's the decision-making that the president made last night. Nobody wants to see this escalate, and it could stop. Any chance of escalation could stop if these Iran-backed militant groups had actually stopped targeting our people and our facilities. If they keep doing it, then we're going to have to keep protecting ourselves.
Do you see any sign that they're going to stop?
It's difficult to know. We certainly hope that we sent a very strong message last night about how strongly we're going to defend ourselves and how ready we are to do it going forward should they continue.
CBS News senior foreign correspondent Holly Williams has more on all of this. Holly, good morning.
Good morning, Anne-Marie. Well, we are witnessing an escalation of violence in Syria directly involving U.S. forces. U.S. officials say that a base in Syria used by the American military came under rocket fire this morning. There were apparently no U.S. casualties. That follows airstrikes overnight ordered by President Biden, targeting groups in Syria aligned with Iran. During the 12-year-long civil war in Syria, Iran's been closely allied with the Syrian regime. These images are believed to show the aftermath of some of those U.S. strikes. They were retaliation for a drone attack yesterday on a base used by U.S. personnel in northeastern Syria. Now, the Pentagon says that the drone used was of Iranian origin, killing that U.S. contractor. 5 American service members and another U.S. contractor were reported injured. We've actually spent quite a bit of time on bases used by U.S. forces in that area. American troops went into Syria in 2015 to fight against the Islamic State, or ISIS, and around 900 U.S. service members are still based there. You know, the Syrian conflict doesn't get much attention these days, but it is ongoing. It's drawn in the U.S., Iran, Russia, and Turkey, and as these events show, it is still deadly.
Yeah, to that point, I was thinking the same thing, that we really haven't done much coverage there. Why are U.S. troops still in Syria?
Well, Anne-Marie, at least part of the reason is that whilst ISIS has lost all of the territory it held, lost its so-called caliphate, ISIS is still there. You know, they're hiding out in villages, they're operating in parts of the Syrian desert that are not under the control either of the Syrian regime and its backers, Iran and Russia, or of, America's allies in Syria, the Syrian Democratic Forces. So part of the reason that those US troops are there is to try and stop ISIS from coming back and controlling territory and using Syria as a base to launch terrorist attacks and, attracting followers from overseas, including the West, as it did previously.
Holly, thank you very much.
That was relating to CBS report talking about new attacks target U.S. bases, and U.S. had to retaliate regarding those attacks. A contractor was killed, and I believe 5 others were injured. We'll read the report. The new attacks targeted the U.S. military base in Syria on Friday. According to the U.S. officials, overnight the U.S. military carried out precision airstrikes in retaliation for another attack. So pretty much an Iranian drone attack pretty much hit them. For another attack Thursday that killed an American contractor and hurt 6 others, so 7 total. According to the Pentagon, National Security Council spokesperson John Kirby told CBS News correspondent Christina Ruffini The U.S. does not want to escalate matters, and they had Biden had a speech regarding that, man. But he says, we'll defend, pretty much we'll defend if necessary, man. Escalate matters, but we'll defend American forces, man. CBS News senior foreign correspondent Holly Williams joins Vladimir Duthers and Marie Green with more on that report. So, in military, according to her, military is still there, pretty much trying to keep that area stabilized, relating to that area, that region, because relating to ISIS and different things. These faceted military groups. So, and that's why they're there, and that don't get much coverage. So that don't get much coverage at all. So pretty much, because it's pretty much under the radar. But I'm gonna get some scriptures. That was a report relating to that. So we in a time and season of war, man. Let me get and to be honest with you, we on different levels of World War III. Only difference is it's not full blown. And I'm going to give another report relating to Kim Jong-un, relating to nuclear tsunami. Get that, talking about that. A time to love, a time to hate, a time of war, a time of peace. So we're in a time of war, man. We're in a time of war, man. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that you be not in trouble, be not troubled, be not perplexed, be not marveled, be not dismayed. For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. So you're going to hear wars, rumors of wars, pretty much go over scriptures over and over. You're going to hear of wars and rumors of wars, man. And you're going to see actual wars. You seeing what's going on in these proxy wars over in different parts of the world. You're seeing what's going over relating to Russia and Ukraine. So you're seeing actual wars. You're seeing the bloodshed relating to the violence and casualties of war, man. Number 7. For nation shall rise against nation, the kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines, pestilence, and earthquakes in different places, man. So you see earthquakes and different types of things happen in different places, man, that normally wouldn't happen but are happening. Pestilence or plagues. Famines goes to shortages, man. Nation against nation, kingdom against kingdom, man. You seeing the powers, the superpowers of these kingdoms and powers going against one another, man. So you're seeing that, man. All these are the beginnings of sorrow. So these things have to happen, man. And these things been happening for a long time, but now it's escalating more because it's getting more closer. So you're seeing the more intensification relating to these things, man. Because there's always been war. There's always been certain things going on. But now it's increasing more because it's getting closer. Scripture talking about relating to the birth pangs, man. So it's getting more closer, man. Let's go back to all right, let's continue. Let's go to another video. Before I go to that, let me show this report relating to read a little bit. Missiles a couple hours ago. American base in eastern Syria was targeted by missiles on Friday, a day after the U.S. launched airstrikes against Iran-backed military bases in retaliation for what? The drone attack, the Iranian drone attack. Some more new reports. Let me see. There's a report here talking about Xi Jinping and Putin are building a new axis of evil, man. And also relating to, I heard something like some countries are adding to the BRICS, which could be a threat to U.S. pretty much. I seen that on a report. A lot of things are going on, man. See, it's quiet here in this country, man. But other places, there's a lot of things going on. Knowing this, that in the last days, perilous times shall come. 2 Timothy 3:1. We in perilous times, bad, evil, terrible times, man. Because things ain't happening here in America, don't mean things are not happening somewhere else. Because most likely they are, man. But see, the worst is going to come here, man. That's right. The worst is going to come in this place, man. Because the worst of the evils has been done by this place. Not just real talk, man. So the Lord's saving the best for last, man, in a matter of speaking. For when they say peace and safety, then sudden destruction comes, man. Whether you people want to believe it or not, you know what I mean? Romans 3:3, it's not going to be non-effect. You know what I mean? Because prophecy is going to be fulfilled either way. Because you got people around here, you know, have a prideful, cynical type disposition, man. You know what I mean? Everything's a mockery and a joke, man. But let these things come here, man. That'll change that real quick, man. All right, let me see if I can get this. And the people of Babylon, which is America, Egypt, they're prideful, man. They're prideful. That's why pride before destruction, a haughty spirit before a fall, man. I'm just seeing, finding this thing here. Let me look under Shalak. Let me find this report. It's relating to that. It's different ones earlier. U.S. military carried out on multiple strikes in eastern Syria against Iran-aligned groups, reportedly killing 11 people. Pentagon said that airstrikes were carried out in retaliation for the drone attack on the U.S.-led coalition base that killed the U.S. contractor and injured another and wounded 5 U.S. soldiers. So U.S. soldiers were injured. U.S. intelligence assessed the attack drone was Iranian in origin. The U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin said he authorized the retaliatory strikes in direction of President Biden. Here we go. North Korea has tested a new underwater nuclear-capable attack drone designed to unleash a radioactive tsunami that would destroy enemy naval vessels and ports, state media has reported. During a military exercise conducted this week under the guidance of the country's leader, Kim Jong-un, North Korea's military deployed and test-fired the new weapon systems, the missions of which was to test the ability to set off a super-scale destructive blast in a wave. The country's state news agency, KCNA, so these countries are building their arsenal. They're building their arsenal up, man. They're building their weaponry up, man, for war, man. Let me see. Joel 3. Proclaim goes to announcement. Ye this among the Gentiles, which are the nations, prepare war, wake up the mighty men. The mighty men are what? The soldiers, man. Let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. So let them come up to prepare to fight, man. Beat the plowshares into swords, and your pruning hooks into spears. So pretty much refurbishing, revitalizing, relating to these agricultural weapons and make them actual weapons to fight, man. Let the weak say, I am strong, man. So even the weak, there's another version says, even the weak shall fight, man. So the weak and strong are going to fight, relating to war, man. Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about thither. Cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Yahweh Shaphat, which is, for he has judged. There I will sit to judge all the heathens round about. But put ye the sickle, the harvest is ripe. Come and get you down, and press is full, and the fast overflow, and the wickedness is great. So they ready and ripe for judgment, man. And the multitude in the valley of decision. The day of the Lord is near, in the valley of decision. So the valley of decision, man. Armageddon, the valley of troops gathering together to commence and fighting, man. Go to, because with this war, go to Revelations 9 and 12. The first woe has come, and the second and third woe thereafter, man. The second woe has passed, and the third woe cometh quickly. That relates to woe means for destruction, man. Warning for destruction, man. World War III is going to happen, man. You're going to have people getting drafted because the military's undernumbered, you know, and people are not realistic because they really don't want no part of these propaganda of wars, man. And plus, people can't even qualify to get in the military, man, because of their backgrounds, for example, medical or, you know, other infractional issues relating to their background. So, you know, they don't even qualify. So they undernumbered and undermanned, man, relating to the military, man. You know, so they're gonna have to institute something relating to the increase the numbers, man. That's the draft, man. We'll get some scriptures. Hold up. Isaiah 9 and And a lot of the ones who are going to go, these young generations, man, these young, lazy, playful folly of generations, they're going to go to war, man. They'll be the first ones to go, man. They'll be the first ones to go. For every battle of the warriors with confused noise relates to their having, you know, different the swords and different things, man. Hand-to-hand combat, man. Clinking of the metals against one another, man. And the garments rolled in blood, because using those weaponries as stabbing instruments, they're going to be bleeding, man. So blood's going to be shed, man. But this shall be with burning fuel and fire, ultimately the missiles, man. Go to Isaiah 3. You having a system that's slowly, incrementally crashing, man, in the matter of speaking, man. Financially, you know what I mean? It's not from overall health aspect, man. As far as this system, man, it's not looking good, man. You know what I mean? A lot of things are being played behind the scenes. You know, it's just a matter of WHEN ? When, man. Let's go to Isaiah 3rd chapter. Number 24, 25th, I believe, 25th. And thy men shall fall by the sword, and thy mighty sword is what? Pretty much the judgment, man. The scripture talks about by famine and war as well, man. Fall by the sword, and thy mighty in war. The mighty men in war. So they're going to die of war, they're going to die by the sword, man. Her gates, which are the city, shall lament and mourn, and she, being desolate, shall sit upon the ground. So it's going to be like a woman that's on the ground crying, man, mourning, man. Go to Second Esdras. Go to 20. Go to 22. No, I'll go to 21. No, I'll read at 18. Shalak. Start here. The beginning of sorrows and great mourning, the beginning of famines and great death, the beginnings of wars. You've seen the beginnings of war. You've seen the beginnings of famines, whether manufactured, natural, or otherwise. You've seen the beginnings of sorrows, which goes to mourning, man. Violence, bloodshed, different things, man. And the powers shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. Evils goes to terrible, bad times, man. Perilous times, man. Knowing this, that in the last days, perilous times shall come. So you're going to see the perilous times. What's up part of the perilous times? The mourning, the famine, death, wars. The beginning of evils, man. So that's what you're seeing, man. What shall I do when these evils shall come? Pray. Behold, famine and the plague and tribulation, the trials and tribulations, the anguish are sent as scourges. Scourges is pretty much a tool for instrument of punishment and cruelty, man, for the amendment. But for all these things, they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor always be mindful of the scourges. So they're not mindful of the time and season they're in. They're in the days of no, where they're given to party, given into marriage, given to things, but they're not paying attention, being circumspect relating to the times they're in. Be circumspect and not as fools as wise, redeeming the times, because the days are evil, man. And the scripture talks about you can discern relating to the clouds and the weather, but you can't discern the times and season that you're in, man. And that's these people, man. But behold, victual shall be so good cheap upon the earth. that they shall think themselves to be in a good case. That's that false sense of peace and safety and security, man. The optics and illusion of that, man. And even then shall evils grow upon the earth, the sword, the famine, and great confusion, man. These are the elements that's going to grow, man, relating to the things that's going to happen, man, the evils that's going to happen, man. But they're going to be distracted by the bread and circus and by other things that gives them illusion of mirage that everything is well. But behind that, the evil's going to creep upon the people and hit them unexpectedly and suddenly, man. So that's why Scripture says when they say peace and safety, then sudden destruction comes, man. Number 22, for many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine. That's part of that sword, man. Going back to what was it, Isaiah 3 I was reading. Part of that sword is the famine. So either they're going to die of hunger because of lack of food, the victuals, and supplies. Better to die, Scripture says, better to die by the sword than by famine, because the sword is quicker in death, man. But famine is a slow death because it's a slow death, man. The body becomes its own enemy that attacks itself, man. For many of them that dwell upon the earth perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger, the sword shall destroy, man. So either they're going to be hit by a famine or be hit by the sword, man. And the dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no man to comfort them. Why? Because the state and condition, man. People ain't going to have time to comfort because of the chaos and the things that's going to be happening in those times to come, man. And the dead shall be cast out as dung. That's pretty much excrement, which is S-H-I-T, man. You know, excrement is the more, nicer word, man. It's pretty much crap on the street, man. That's how these people going to be like. They're going to be like crap on the street, man. And there shall be no man to comfort them, and the earth shall be wasted, and the city shall be cast down. Go to Isaiah 24, talking about the city of confusion, which is Babel or Babylon, man, relating to desolation, man. Because pretty much the state and condition of how the things are going to be in that time, man. I'm going to go down a few scriptures. These things are in the Bible, man. That's probably why they took out the Apocrypha, because it reveals too much, man. Apocrypha goes to something that's hidden, something that's secret, something that was hidden, and something made to be a secret, man. I'm going to go to 33. The virgin shall mourn, having no bridegroom. So the virgin's going to mourn. They ain't going to have no husbands, man. No bridegrooms. And the women shall mourn, having no what? Husbands, man. They ain't going to have no husbands, man. And their daughters shall mourn, having no helpers, which goes to helpmates, which is their significant other, man. And because they're going to be in war, man. Either they want to die by the famine or they're going to die by the sword of war, man. That's both the men and the women, because men and women are going to be drafted relating to that, man. In wars shall their bridegrooms be destroyed. So in wars, they're going to die in war. Just like these wars, man. They're going to die in war. This is the ultimate final war. Ain't going to be no World War IV, World War IV, World War V, and all that stuff. This is the final war, man. And go to relating to Revelations 12:7, talking about Babylon and his angels versus the Lord and his angels, man. So it's a spiritual, it's a World War III / spiritual war with Yahweh Bashim Yoshad, man. Let's read it again. In war shall their bridegrooms be destroyed, and their husbands shall perish of famine. So they're going to either die by the sword or die by hunger. That's what's going to happen in wars. So that's proof that will be wars, man. Go to KJV, Mark. Same language. I'll read it again. And when ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, hearing of wars, the rumors goes to gossip and the news of wars, man. That news and gossip goes to like the herald. Pretty much the announcement relating to wars, man. And be not troubled, for such things must need be, but the end shall not be yet. So the end is not yet, man. These things are part of that process. For nation shall rise against nation, kingdom against kingdom. There shall be earthquakes in different places. You seeing, for example, in California, man. You seeing a major hurricane tornado that flooding with the snow, with the flood. Now you having these strong winds and tornadoes and hurricane type strong winds. So California is getting hammered, man. For nation shall rise against nation, kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be earthquakes in different places, and there shall be famines and troubles, man. So we seeing the troubles, man. These troubles are parts of the evils, man. That's going to happen, man. These are the beginnings of sorrows, man. We'll go to Luke. Go to a different version. We'll see what it says. Here we go. This is NIV, which is a new international version. And when you hear wars and uprising, that can go uprising the people, the division, the tensions, and the things the chaos relating to wars and stuff, man. So hearing of wars and uprisings, man, that goes to civil unrest, sedition, insurrections. Do not be frightened. So do not be frightened. Do not be troubled. Do not be dismayed. Do marvel not. These things must happen, but the end will not come right away, because a lot more prophecy has to be played out, man. These are just parts of the components that has to play out and be played out. Then he said to them, nation will rise against nation. So you see nations rise against each other. You see nations also building armament, military arson to prepare to defend itself, man. Whether it's Iran, whether it's China, whether it's India, whether it's U.S., whether it's Russia, whether it's these other nations, they prepare for war, man. They're getting the latest of technology and building up for preparing for war, man. You know, they're not doing it because it's something to do. They're doing it because they're preparing for what they know is inevitable, which means it can't be avoided, man. Now, number 10. And he said unto them, nation shall rise against nation, kingdom against kingdom. There will be great earthquakes and famines in various places, which goes to different places. You're seeing all kinds of stuff in places all over the world, man. You're seeing all kinds of stuff, man. Seeing all kinds of things that's out of the ordinary happening. and fearful events and great signs from the heaven, man. So that's what you're seeing. Fearful events, fearful sightings and different things, man. For example, man, chariot sightings, man. You know, uncanny type phenomena, things that you can't explain. You know what I mean? Because the Lord is sending, these are parts of the signs that the Lord is sending upon the earth before he sends ultimately his son, man. You know, so he's sending, these are warnings, man. These are warnings and signs from the heavens, man. I'll read that one again. There will be great earthquakes and famines and pestilence in various places, fearful events, and great signs from the heavens. So that's warnings that the Lord is sending on earth. For many great miseries shall happen in the latter times because they walk greatly in pride. 2nd Ezra 8:50, man. So part of that reason why they're sending that, the Lord is sending these things, because the pride, the wickedness, the level of wickedness on this earth, man. The Lord is angry at the wicked every day, man. 7:11 of Psalms, man. The Lord is known by what? The judgment he executes. Psalms 9 and 16, man. So the Lord he's angry at the wicked, man. That's the point, man. So that's why he's sending these forms of signs on the earth relating to judgment, man. And parts of that is you seeing all these calamities and atrocities, man. The divisions being set forth. You know, so the Lord is sending that. He's sending that. He's spending that spirit of division, the spirit of contention, the spirit of strife upon the world, man. Because it's not affecting here on America on that level. That's okay. You know what I mean? Because when it do come here, it's going to be sudden, unexpectedly. It's going to come like blitzkrieg. It's going to come fast, unexpected, when people least expect it, man. Because, like I said earlier, the best is saved for last, man. All these other places are tester places for relating to certain things happening, relating all over the world. But the worst is going to happen here, man. And we know historically for that reason why. And that being said, I hope this has helped. This is Zaya Wolf. This relates to talking about those topics a little bit. I want to give all praise to Yahweh Shem Yosha, Bashem Rakakadas, and Zaya Wolf. I hope give all praise to Yahweh Shem Yosha, and all double honors to elders, apostles, men in truth relating to this truth and knowledge. And Thawadi Yahweh Shem Yosha for putting the spirit of elders and apostles, men in the truth on down regarding this truth and knowledge. So we know this truth and knowledge. And Thawadi Yahweh Shem Yosha. And Kohol Yahweh Shem Yosha, Bashem Rakakadas. I hope this helps whoever listens. This is Zaya Wolf, Shalom.